Grief is a natural response to loss. It's something we go through all our lives. I can remember one prominent time where I went through the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. It was one evening in November. I was going to the one door to the joyous land of what could bring me happiness. When I got there, what I had yearned for was gone. At first, I didn't believe it. I was like, well, maybe it's in here somewhere. But I was just in denial. Then I became angry once I realized it wasn't there. I was like, well, this is what I wanted. Why does this happen to me? I wanted this thing and now it's gone. How will I ever be fulfilled? So I became regretful, remorseful. I started bargaining for it. Like, maybe if I had gotten here sooner, it would still be there and I could be happy. And that led to be sad because I was like, well, I wasn't there. Now I don't have this thing, so I'm sad. Pretty plainly how it was, too. But eventually, not too much long later, I accepted it. It's like, well, I can try again later. There should be some then. Now, this may seem vague and profound. Let me tell you what the story is really about. One November, after Thanksgiving, I had gone to the fridge to look for green bean casserole, my favorite dish at Thanksgiving. When I opened up the fridge and looked around, there was none, even though there was some the previous day. So I didn't believe it at first. Rummaging around, looking through all the other leftovers, but it wasn't there. I became a little upset because I really wanted this food and it was gone. So I was frustrated. I thought, well, maybe if I had just gotten sooner, I would have had to have this, and then I wouldn't be going through all this pain. And then just got sad about it because it's my favorite dish and it's really yummy. But it didn't take long to overcome this obstacle, to move past it, because at the end of the day, it was just food. And hey, there was always next Thanksgiving, and Mom would make a quadruple batch because she knows I love it, and I love her for doing that. Now, the story is a bit more on the lighthearted, silly side, might not have a good relevance to everyone, but I tell it because when you're going through the stages of grief, you don't know that you're going through the stages of grief. You won't know until it's much later after you've moved on, and you look back on it and reflect. And oftentimes, you don't even go through all of them. You'll go through some of the stages. For instance, I think a couple years ago now, my grandfather passed away. It was a very sad time. But I never went through denial or anger because we saw it coming. I was with him the last year of his life, so we knew that Grandpa's gonna leave us soon. But it was very sad. I feel like I had a little bit of bargaining, thought like, well, maybe if I don't cry, I won't feel the sadness anymore. That didn't work out. It's not good to bottle up your emotions. So once I finally got past that and started crying, I just felt the overwhelming sad. I just didn't want to even get out of bed for like a month. But I did, because I couldn't just wallow in this pity for myself and sadness and loneliness forever. I had other people to love. I had things to do with my life. I had school, I had work. And my grandpa lived a really great life. And I got to spend a lot of great time with him, and I'm very grateful for that. And I will always cherish those memories. And other times, the pacing is weird. Sometimes it's out of order. When my cat died many, many years ago, it tore me up. Immediate depression. Because there was no denial, because I knew it was coming. I lived with him, so. But I was mentally just rock bottom, just sad and crying all the time. I couldn't do anything. I actually started eating a lot more, which has put on all my weight. I was really skinny before that. And even now, to this day, it still hurts a bit when I think about him. Even though I moved on, took years to do it, but I did move on. I got past it, but going through grief does leave an imprint on you. When you think back to it, you remember it. You remember the pain you felt and the longing for those good times. But with accepting and moving on, you don't erase it. You don't erase those memories. You don't erase that feeling in your heart. You store it as a lesson, because you're going to go through grief again. And the more you go through it, the more you accept these changes, the more they won't hurt as much as they did. And that's just part of life. You go through pain and obstacles, and you might not come out so great the first time, but as you do it more and more, it gets easier. I hope you're able to get something out of that. I really do. Thank you for tuning in with me this week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.